With Jim Ratcliffe now having a major stake in Manchester United and there being an overhaul of our sporting front of office, Manchester United are hoping to enter a promising new era. And we're going to imagine the best possible speculative lineup for next season under this new ownership. So join me as I go through what I think could be a dream starting 11 for Manchester United next year. Because we all need a little bit of optimism right now, don't we? Let's get into it. In goal, Onana. He has faced an absolutely ridiculous amount of shots. But barring the nightmare in the Champions League campaign, I think he's been very solid. I expect him to be even better next season with a more consistent backline in front of him. The transformative nature that I thought he would have on our playing out hasn't managed to happen because of that interchangeable front four in front of him. But I don't lie the blame at his feet, and I think you will see more out of him when you get a more consistent and a more capable backline playing in front of him. We saw him get the sort of pre-assist or create the chance for Bruno to be able to enable Marcus to score in the Manchester derby. That's the sort of thing that I know he's capable of, that I really want to see him producing. So, in net, Onana. Right back, Dalot. United are without a doubt looking to dip into the right back market for new talent, fresh blood. But a strong campaign from Dalot, alongside the fact that right back market isn't littered with obvious world-class gettable talent right now, I think the chances of us replacing and improving upon Dalot with a starter that is definitively better than him is quite slim. Dalot can struggle with consistency and focus sometimes, but I think he's a solid, dependable player and a more than serviceable right back for us for next season. Centre half, Antonio Silva. Silva is an immense ball-playing centre-half, comfortable playing on the left-hand side, but also plays on the right-hand side. Technically, excellent, very secure in possession, not just a safe passer, but a real good progressor of the ball too. He's got quite a range of passing ability on him as well. He's got long, he's got short, he's got switches, he can break a line. When he's pressed, he has the composure to invite pressure, carry it past the player, and then move into areas up the pitch where we get to see the agility and the quick turning that enables him to make really good passing angles. He's never rushed, he's always calm, and seems to always make really good decisions. Defensively, he's a bit of a throwback. He's quite aggressive in the tackle, still managed to keep hold of that good decision-making that he has when he's in possession. His reach is good, he's got long legs, got good agility, and his defensive ability is reliant on actual ability rather than, just raw pace or physicality. Doesn't seem to have the pace of a Saliba, but he's not exactly slow. Doesn't seem to have the physicality of, say, a Virgil van Dijk. But what he does have is intelligence in his position and strong defensive instincts, excellent timing of the tackle, and again, decision-making that is really strong. And then alongside him, Lisandro Martinez. For me, I think he's the best player, the best centre-half in the Premier League. And a lot of people are laughing at that. You can laugh all you want. That's what I believe. I believe he's the best centre-half in the Premier League. I think with the ball, he breeds confidence. Without the ball, he breeds confidence. I think he's a multiplier of the players around him. I think he's got a great attitude, a great spirit, a great fight about him. And I think he's absolutely sensational. I think he's pure captain material for Manchester United. You put someone that can play alongside him, and I think you get an even better player out of him. Left back. Now, we've done a scout report on this guy recently, so if you want to go and check that out, I'll throw the link to that in the description. But it's Patrick Dorgu. So, excellent energy, excellent work rate, great acceleration, great pace, really agile, low centre of gravity, strong upper body, uses his body real nice in duels, wins free kicks, able to relieve pressure, press resistant, outstanding 1v1 defensive abilities, tough tackler, someone that wins possession back frequently, very composed in possession, seems to have really good instincts, strong dribbling, Just a real good left back, and can play left back or left wing back. Just a real good solid player. Go check out the scout report if you want to know a bit more on him. But I would love him to come in and be our future left back. Midfield. This is where United really have to get this one right, and I think we're going to need a new number 6. And this might be the guy, Matt's Wafer. So he is quick, one-touch passes really suit him. I think he suits what I think Erik ten Hag is trying to build. First-time passer as well, so it doesn't like ponder with it a little bit. You get him recycling, retaining possession, having him and Mainu move around, dropping deep, collecting the ball off each other. I think they complement each other so well as a double pivot. He is much more comfortable as a front-footed ball winner, which is something that I don't think Mainu quite is. He seems always ready to pounce on an opposition transition, very direct in how he deals with that, very head-on, looking to feed off the sort of scraps that an initial press is going to present him. And due to that awareness, I think he knows exactly when he doesn't have too much time on the ball, but you'll often see him take minimal touches, play quick, move for it, and that sort of intrinsic desire in him seems to avoid him getting dispossessed in possession too often. I think one of his greatest strengths is that anticipation, awareness. He's scanning all the time, gives him a real good knowledge of what's going on the pitch. But his interceptions, his pass selections, his timing, his positioning the tackles, this is a genuine top-class number 6. And he's tactically astute, he's technically astute, and there's enough reliable about him where you think, yeah, Manchester United could take this kid to the next level. He is capable of controlling games, total array of passes from chips, outside of the boot, diags. He's got it all. And I think him, alongside Kobbie Mainoo, I think that's a real basis for a strong midfield. And I think after that stellar season that we've seen out of Kobbie Mainoo, we know the quality is there. We know that he would thrive with better options around him. I think the sky's the limit for him. He saved United 60, 70 million. And we're only scratching the surface. Like, he could be world class. He's obviously not world class yet, but he could be. That's not to say there's a guarantee that he'll get there, but he could, because the decision making he's got at the moment is freakishly good. So if he can elevate the rest of his game, start having match-winning ability about him, he could do it, which is, there's obviously no guarantees, but he could. In the 10, Bruno Fernandes. Like, we're not going to change every single thing, and for all of the shortcomings that he has, there isn't many better chance creators in world football than Bruno Fernandes. There's a frustration with United fans because he's seen as a bit of a flair player, a bit of a finisher, a bit of someone that's looking to do that final thing, and we're maybe lacking something a little bit behind him. But if United get being a dominant ball possession team again, he's going to look even better. And he's got a bit of healthy competition in there with Mason Mount as well. I don't envisage left wing getting addressed at all, unless PSG really chance their arm and make United make a decision on what's going on with Marcus Rashford. But with Garnacho being as raw as he is and an excellent impact player that is obviously going through progressions, and Marcus Rashford coming off a huge contract renewal and a poor season, I think United would want to give both of them a run at left wing and just allow the one who is the in-form player that's putting in the work to play. I think that sort of healthy competition would do both players really good. And guess what? Yeah, you've got an hour, you've got 70 minutes. And if not, the other one's coming on. And if they take their chance, guess who's starting next week? And that sort of competition really does drag out the best in players. Now, all players aren't going to like it, but that's fine. You don't have to like it, but you have to deal with it. So deal with it. And I think those two as your options on the left, and of course, both of them could be options off the right behind our new right winger, which I'm going to talk to you about in a second. It is a good sort of basis for a squad of forward players. In the 9, it'll be Højlund. Great response to the adversity that he's faced and shown this season. We've seen a lot of promise from him. All the physical tools needed to be an elite centre forward. There is pace, there is power, there is raw strength. If he gets better service, he could explode into a 20-goal-a-season striker at such a young age. We don't have to worry about him. I think we could probably do with maybe more of a target man as a backup. I'd be definitely looking at who's out of contract, who could come in and just do as a bit of a job to back him up, to give him 10 minutes off when he feels a bit of a knock, to give him the night off when it's Newport County away. So, games where he can have a little bit of a rest and maybe come off the bench after watching another forward, an older, experienced forward, sort of ply his trade. I'd really enjoy that. I think that'd be beneficial for Højlund, someone literally on a free to play back up to him. I think that'd be good. And on the right, probably no surprises in this one, but Elise. The guy creates chances, he's got work rate, he's a 1v1 threat. Weakness, he's probably not that explosive, and he is a little bit injury prone. And I say that with all things considered, he probably is the most well-rounded option for right wing this summer. I think he's coming from a club where United know they can get the player out of it. His injury record doesn't fill you with confidence, but it's not a massive issue, I don't think. And I think, similar to some of the other players that you can look at, he maybe does lack in pace and power in comparison to some of the other options, but he's still pacey. He still can beat a man. And, you've seen this how often. He creates goals, he gets assists, and he's one of the best dribblers in world football. I think if United lined up with this 11, can I sit here and tell you it wins the league or it competes for the Champions League? No. But is it closer? Yes. And I'll take progress over anything else at the moment. That's my 11. Please let me know your thoughts on that in below. And obviously there'll be a squad that pads the rest of that out. I would love to see the likes of Johnny Evans stick around in that. Maybe even Luke Shaw stick around in that. But, that's the 11 that I think United could be looking at next season or should be looking at. A bit of a dream 11. Let me know. Rate it. How realistic is it to bring those players in? See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.